everyone, my name is Rrachna and welcome back for another pick a card reading. I hope you guys are doing well and that all your friends and family and your loved ones are in good health, physically as well as mentally. I'm sorry I took April off because it was kind of a heavy month for me where I did not make any videos, but I'm super excited to do this today. So we have 4 piles, 1, 2, 3, 4. So today's reading is a little different. So I got this deck as a gift recently. It's a Yogic Path by Sahara Rose. And these cards are so stunning that I really wanted to share this with you so that you guys could also enjoy the messages from these cards. So they're not your very regular kind of cards which kind of give you an answer very to the point. The amazing thing about these cards and the kind of message that these cards have that's written even on the cards, which I really loved. It says, may these cards bridge you to your higher self. And I think that's such a beautiful message. I know at these times we all kind of are self-reflecting a little more and analyzing things, our lifestyles, our thoughts, a little more than we usually do. So I thought this was the perfect time to kind of bring these cards out for that reason also. So these cards, like I said, don't give you very to the point kind of answers. They kind of make you self-reflect and think a little bit by yourself. So let's get started. We are going to look at just 2 cards per deck. The first card is messages for you about your career, and the second one is messages for you about your relationships. Now this could be any relationship that's on your mind or on the foreground or that's very important in your life right now, or in general across all the relationships that you're having, whether it's with your family, with your partner, with your children, with your friends, your boss, your colleagues, anybody that's on the forefront in your mind, and maybe just in general. We'll see once we kind of open what's coming through. But yeah, take these messages and do self-reflect on them, think about it, and I hope these give you some more clarity in your life. Okay, so if you haven't made your choice yet, please pause the video here. You can take a deep breath, clear your mind, and the pile that you're most drawn to is the one that has your answers. Once you've chosen your pile, please fast forward to the pile that you've chosen. You can choose more than one if you're drawn to them, like multiple piles. That's completely up to you. Maybe there are messages for you in a few of them. So whichever ones that you're drawn to, please go ahead and look at the messages. Yeah, and let's get started. So if you guys chose pile number 1, then these are your messages. So for career, okay, let's just do this one by one actually, that'd be nicer. So this is the message for your career, which talks about Santosh. Now Santosh is a feeling of being content. So in your career, this card is telling you that you're in a place where you can relax, feel contented, and the fact that you've achieved quite a bit. It's asking you to maybe take a pause and savor this time, because you've done very well in your career, and we usually have this big checklist to kind of keep going through, so we don't really ever give ourselves the time or the permission to pause and just enjoy and savor how far we've come, how well we're doing. So this card is asking you to take a moment to pause and just kind of enjoy how far you've come and the fruits of all your labor that you've put in so far. It's also telling you that it is okay to take this break, that you will not kind of fall behind in your in the goals that you've set for yourself and the time frames and all of that. So it's just asking you to to enjoy this moment, and it is reiterating the fact that you have come a very, very far along, and you have achieved your goals, and that you're in a good place. Yeah, so it's just asking you to kind of appreciate how blessed you are and how well you're doing, which is a beautiful message. So yeah, and the messages for your relationships is Manipura. Okay, so Manipura has to do with chakras. This correlates or is easier or well known as your solar plexus chakra. So now what this card is telling you about your relationships is the fact that you are exactly where you need to be and who you are. It's saying, I really loved this line from the guidebook, so I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Gone are the days of confusion and blurred lines between your truth and the expectations of others. You have grounded into your essence and built the foundation of your empowered self." This card is also saying that, so essentially you are where you kind of need to be, and very similar to where you were in your career. So I think for you, this is a moment of just kind of patting yourself on the back and saying you've done a good job. And also this card, the Manipura card, says that you might have let go of a few friendships or relationships or people in your life recently, but it's also saying that those relationships were no longer serving you. So whoever has left, whoever you have let go of, has been the right decision, and it was worth it. Now, what this card has a message for you to kind of self-reflect on. So the questions it wants you to reflect on are, what do you really care about? What lights you up? How do you want to serve? It's asking you to meditate on these questions and take the actions of based on the answers that you get when you kind of think of these questions. So it's what do you really care about, and what lights you up, and how do you want to serve. I think it's so beautiful, the fact to kind of think about what lights you up. I love that thought. So definitely self-reflect on that, and that will give you more guidance about how to go about in your different relationships, and what you kind of need to focus on rather. So I hope these messages helped, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hi group 2. So if you guys chose group 2, then these are your messages. We're going to turn them one by one. This is the message for your career, and this is the message for your relationships. So the main message for you from your guides is Pratyahara for your career. Now Pratyahara in yoga kind of stands for the control of your senses. What this card is saying is that recently you might have let go of certain ways of thinking, certain ways of doing things, maybe certain projects that weren't kind of moving your way. You've probably kind of let go of them or detached yourself from it. So this card is essentially saying that by letting go of things that are not working for you, you are growing. And you're coming more in tune and in line with who you're supposed to be. So right now you're in kind of a growth phase, not just materialistically in terms of your career, but I'd also say spiritually. So by letting go of things that are not working, first of all, you kind of save a lot of time and energy over not being upset or giving your time and your dedication to something that's not working, because as much as hard work is important, it is also equally important to know when to kind of let go. So in terms of your career, this is saying you've either made the right decision to let go of a few things, or if things are a little difficult at work where certain things aren't moving in the direction that you kind of want them to. It's asking you to let go of things that are not working for your highest good, to be able to hold on and find things that are really working for you and that are for your growth and your kind of future benefit. So that's what this card says. Yeah, so I think those are the messages for your career. Let's look at your relationship. Lovely. So the card for your relationships is Anahata, which is, as you can see with all the green, talks about your heart chakra. So I would actually, to start, I want to read the first line from the guidebook because I think it's so beautifully put. So it says, your heart has opened its chambers to new possibilities, and the light is coming through to soothe its once dark corners. So definitely, I think this pratyahara is kind of also having some effect on your relationships in that sense, is when you're letting go of things that are not working, you're opening yourself up to new possibilities, to new way of doing things, and that's probably something that's also healing your heart space. And your relationships are probably in a better space just by allowing yourself to look at things from a new perspective and letting go of maybe the old way of doing things that probably were not necessarily really working for you anymore. So this says, I actually want to even read the next line because I was completely mind blown by it when I read it. So it says, this love heals all and allows you to see all people for their greatest potential, including yourself. By putting down your armor, you are truly able to use the intelligence of your heart, which will always guide you in the right direction. Trust the journey of the heart. It may not always make sense to the mind, but it is aware of the possibilities that the mind cannot yet envision. When you truly live a heart-centered life, there is nothing to fear. Meditate on the green color and practice heart-opening yoga poses to aid the journey. Okay, I want to read just one line, but I think they've just put it so well together that I couldn't stop reading. But yeah, that's such a beautiful message, and I think us being our biggest critics, we don't really realize our own true potential or don't give ourselves enough credit for our true potential. So this is saying not only look at others with compassion and love, but also give the same love, compassion, maybe benefit of the doubt sometimes that we kind of give to others. Treat yourself the way or as lovingly as we sometimes treat others. So don't just criticize yourself, but from time to time do pat yourself on the back and kind of be proud of your own self and about how far you've come and how amazingly you're doing yourself in your life. In terms of meditating, if you're not really the kind of person that meditates, YouTube also has a lot of beautiful heart chakra music that you can maybe play in the background anytime that you're feeling like you're regressing or going back into your old ways that are not really helping. That might also help heal your heart space and feel better. So yeah, I think those are your messages. I think for relationships, the main message it has, and even for your career for that matter, because I find they're very, very related, is kind of just be open to new possibilities, to look at things from a different perspective and a different lens. And if things aren't working anymore, to kind of let go of that thought or the way of doing things. Because that's the only way we grow, right? When you kind of let go of the old, you make space for the new in your life. So, yeah, those were my messages for you, Group 2. I hope this helped. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Okay, so if you guys liked Group 3, then these are your messages. So we're going to look at them one by one. So this is for your career and this is for your relationships. Karma. Beautiful. Okay. So this card says that this is the time to kind of reap the benefits or the benefits and the fruits of the good that you've done. So I'm sure that you've been putting on a lot of hard work in the past, which may have gone unrewarded or you felt that you weren't seen in the past. But this card is saying essentially that now is the time where you are going to benefit from all the hard work that you've put in the past, and you will be getting the fruits of your labor, which is a good time. Yay! So this also is saying that going forward things will be easier. I know a lot of us have been under tremendous pressure to kind of work longer hours and deal with pay cuts and the uncertainty of if you'll still have a job tomorrow or your business will survive this. So it is saying that in your career specifically that it is going to be a lighter time. You won't be as stressed. Things are going to improve or pick up from here. And it's also saying that not only materialistically, whatever work that you're doing right now is also feeding your soul, which is beautiful. So it's saying that you're working in hand in hand with your life path and not just kind of your materialistic aspiration, which is a great kind of place to be. So so don't stress as much. Group 3, things are gonna get better. You are gonna, as you sow, so shall you reap, and this is the time to reap. So yeah, okay. And the card for your relationships is lovely. It's Dharma. So you have karma and dharma. Beautiful. Okay. So in terms of your relationship, it's saying that you have dharma on your side, which essentially says that you're on the path to fulfilling your highest purpose. Like we spoke about with the karma, when you work with karma, you not just your material gains but also your spiritual gains, which is exactly what this card is talking about. So you in your relationships recently might have developed some new insights that you've had some aha moments maybe. You've also maybe realized that hi, I'm so sorry, my battery kind of ran out. Okay, so we were talking about dharma. So you've not only had aha moments in your relationships, but maybe you've also realized that if certain relationships were difficult or if you were put through a few tests, they were essentially to teach you more about who you are, to teach you certain specific lessons, so that you as a soul kind of grow in your journey and kind of evolve into your higher self and kind of also come in line with your life path or your life purpose, um, which is great. And enlightenment and ascension are never easy, so I'm sure that it definitely would have been a difficult lesson or a time for you, but this is saying now things are gonna get easier in that sense, and that you have learned the lessons that you kind of needed to in your relationships. And it's amazing that you can grow materially and spiritually at the same time. So as tough as these times are for all of us, I think you're doing really, really great. So kudos to yourself, don't sell yourself short. And I'm so happy to see that you guys are doing so well. So also what these two cards together are telling me is that the fact that you're not just growing yourself, but you're also helping in raising the vibration of the entire planet. By all of us kind of doing our little bit, we can definitely help to make things better. So you're definitely helping to make this world a better place. So thank you so much. The guidebook for this actually had a very beautiful line. that I kind of want to read out for the Dharma card to you guys. And kind of as a message that you should maybe reiterate to yourself when things get difficult or you're not sure about what you kind of need to do in a certain relationship. And the line is continue to listen to the whispers of your soul, which I think is such a beautiful line. So anytime you're in doubt, just listen to the whispers of your soul, because our intuition and our higher self is always in communication with us. We just kind of need to open ourselves to hear what it's trying to tell us. So yeah, those are the messages for you, group 3. I hope they made sense. I hope they made you feel better in some way and helped you gain some clarity. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, group 4. So if you guys were attracted to this card, okay, then these are your messages. We're going to open them one by one. So this is the message for your career, and this is what messages the guides have for you in terms of your relationships. So for your career, the card that you have is Samadhi. I love the depiction and the colors of this card. The blues and the purples, as you can see, usually talk about your intuition and your higher self and guidance. I think you're someone that's very much in balance, because when someone is in Samadhi, first of all, Samadhi talks about an advanced state of meditation and absorption in the self. So this already tells me that you're doing really well in your career, and I'd say with the card being Samadhi, I'd probably say you're doing well in most fields of your life. So Samadhi essentially talks about the fact that all the aspects of your being, whether they be physical, spiritual, mental, or emotional, they're all kind of in line and working together with each other. So I'd say you're not just working, very similar to group 3 in that sense. The message that I'm getting is that you're not just working for your material gains or purposes or your material kind of goals that you've set, but you're also at the same time with your work growing spiritually, and you're kind of coming in line with again what your life purpose is, what really feeds your soul, what truly makes you happy on the inside and not just kind of on the outside, more superficial kind of levels. So I think your work is something that's really maybe keeping you grounded, that's keeping you sane in these very, very uncertain times that we're kind of going through. So I'd say kind of ground yourself in work, or kind of keep doing that to keep growing. And I think more than anything, what I'm getting intuitively from this card is that by concentrating on work, by keeping on doing what you're doing to go through your daily task and having that routine, is something that's probably really helping you right now. And also at the same time, I think the fact that you are spiritually, mentally, emotionally growing at the same time, or are in sync with all of these aspects of your life right now, I'd say that your career is not something to be worried about, and that I think you're doing a really, really good job there. Yeah, so the one line that I actually want to read from the guidebook for you guys is celebrate the union of your soul and spirit, for you are a microcosm of the macrocosm, which makes sense, because I mean, we are all part of this great, wide, amazing universe. So yeah, I think the most important message that I want to give you in terms of your career is, I mean, keep doing what you're doing. I think what you're doing is really, really working for you. and I think your work is also something that is really grounding you at the moment, which is nice. Okay, so in terms of your relationships, okay, wow. So you are channeling Mother God right now. Um, so actually, for this card, I wanna start by reading the first few lines from the guidebook, because I think they've just they kind of put everything I want to tell you very very eloquently. Okay, so it says you're exhibiting great strength in the face of things that would make others, including former versions of yourself, crumble. So, right off the bat, I'm definitely feeling that this might have been a difficult time for relationships. It could be a very trying times. You might feel that you're constantly being tested. But what this card is telling you is the fact that you have Ma Durga on your side and that you can continue to channel her and her strength to get through this difficult time, whatever it is. And the fact that you've really, really grown in this time, because I love the line or the fact that it says um, that you're exhibiting great strength in the face of things that would make others crumble. And more importantly, I think the fact that it says former versions of yourself crumble. I think you've really grown, and you're really able to handle a lot more and do a lot better than you would have in the past. So in your relationships, you've definitely really, really grown as a person. And as difficult as that is, I definitely believe that uh, you've done supremely well, and she's also the goddess of inner strength and protection. So I definitely feel that you have her on your side. You are being guided and protected at all times by Ma Durga. Another message that I'm getting for you guys is that if you feel it's not you who's kind of had to constantly be tested, I think it might be that you're uh, acting like her and protecting someone else. So maybe it's a child or a friend that needs your protection, and that's the relationship that's at the forefront of your mind right now. So it is saying that you're probably behaving or channeling your Ma Durga for the other person and being the very nurturing, protective, motherly kind of a person for them. And I think that's amazing on your part. So I'm so proud of you. Um, and I think whenever you do, I think you're doing great. You will be able to overcome all challenges, and I hope they kind of get over soon. But I want you to just remember that you're doing well and that you're protected and you have her on your side. So you don't need to worry about anything else. So these were my messages for you, Group 4. I hope that you got some clarity and that they made sense and they helped you feel better in some aspect at least. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.